Welcome to HueFin News. Today is October the 30th, 2017, and we are here to give you guys news according to the charts. Today, we are giving you our daily cryptocurrency market analysis, and it is where we only analyze the price bars and the volume to get you guys a predictive move in these particular cryptocurrencies. That's how we do our analysis here on this channel. We do not place indicators on our charts because it just causes confusion, and one of our purposes here on this channel is to eliminate that confusion, because all people really want to know is where all these cryptocurrencies are going to be headed, whether it's higher or lower, and that's pretty much what all traders are worried about. So when you get into the technicals and trying to make these entry and exit positions, it causes you to lag in your decision making. So that's why we just give you guys the price bars and the volume, because it speaks to everyone, and we interpret those price bars and volume to analyze precisely the mindset of the market. So you guys can see that before we get started, let me say this: we are not investment advisors, and we are not giving you guys investment advice. Okay. Now, since that out the way, go ahead and look at the market cap. You guys can see that is at $177 billion, and yesterday the market stood at $179 billion. So that just tells you that $2 billion exited the market on today. But considering that majority of these cryptos is traded sideways, is not that bad. So you guys can see that Bitcoin is still maintaining that $101 billion market cap all by itself. They are down 0.84%. You guys can see that Ethereum also ended the day positive of 0.38. Ripple is down 0.32. Bitcoin Cash down 3.35. And then look at Litecoin, they're down 1%. Dash is up 0.61. Neo up almost 3%. NAM is down 1. BitConnect is down 0.15. And Monero is also down 0.72. So you guys can see that it was just pretty much a sideways trading action where the market is taking a break, trying to figure out whether it wants to go higher or lower, and we will give you guys that analysis from our perspective. So without further ado, you guys can see that Bitcoin is up 0.03. Last trade was at $6,138.70. So we told you on our video yesterday on our analysis that Bitcoin will come and touch 6,000, and it went actually to a low of 6,006. So that's right on point. And we said that it might come and touch the high from 6,200, and it went as high as 6,239. So that was the area that we was expecting Bitcoin to be traded, due to the fact that we had the stockpile on yesterday's bar. So now the next question is, where is Bitcoin headed? So the volume is light, which kind of tells us that the market participants are not necessarily worried about pushing the market down. We're still forecasting Bitcoin to move higher, and it still might come to the high of the 29th of October, which was around 63.45. But since the market, I want to go show you guys a smaller time frame. I'm going to show you guys the 6-hour time frame first, and we're going to see what it looks like here. So you guys can see that we got that stockpile here on the 29th, right? And then the market just traded sideways, and then it kind of dipped. And this is that consumption bar, which is the probable precursors of strength. The market closed on the next bar on lighter volume, telling us that the volume that came in on this particular bar is gone, and the market closed higher. So we're still expecting Bitcoin to trade higher in the very near term. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about like in the next couple of hours, and it's going to come back up to that $6,200 area, or maybe even to the high of this bar. Now, if we get precursors of weakness when Bitcoin comes to this area, then it will come back down, and it might even come all the way down to 6,000. But if the market maintains and it gives us precursors of strength at this particular price, then it will continue to move higher. So that is going to be our analysis for Bitcoin, is that we're still expecting it to come to 6,200 in the near term, like in the next couple of hours, like I just said. But from there, if we get precursors of weakness, then you would expect it to come back down and move lower. If not, then expect it to move higher. So now let's go ahead and go to Ethereum. So Ethereum is up 0.85. Last trade was at $306.71. So we was aiming for Ethereum to come and hit $320, and it only came to $314. And we still have stockpile revealing itself for Ethereum. And I want you guys to pay attention to that $310 area. That is going to be the resistance area for Ethereum. If Ethereum cannot break through that area like it did not do today, then the market will continue to move sideways to lower. So we're looking for a push to go up bar in order for Ethereum to break 310. If we do not get a push to go up bar, then expect it to trade around 310 all the way back down to maybe the low that occurred on the 13th of October, which was $298. Okay, expect that to happen for Ethereum on tomorrow. Now, one of the things you guys can see on this daily price chart is that the volume is awfully light, which tells us that the interest to higher prices is not there. So we would expect Ethereum to trade sideways for that fact as well. So we got two things that's going against Ethereum for them moving higher, and that is that $310 area, and also the light volume as it tried to move higher. So our analysis for Ethereum is for them to trade sideways, and that's between 310 and that might even go down to 290 if the volume is high, but to the low from the 13th of October, which was $298. So now we're going to look at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash down 0.45%. Last trade $451. So again, we knew the stockpile was coming in the market. We forecasted them to come to 420. It did that, and we said it might go to the high of 480, and it did that as well. So it's still traded within our range that we mentioned on our video yesterday. So now, what is going to happen on tomorrow? So it looks like Bitcoin may still come and try to make it to these highs of these particular bars from the 29th and the 30th of September. So we're still expecting Bitcoin Cash to trade sideways, and that is going to be between 460, maybe back down to 420 again. Okay, so that is going to be our analysis for Bitcoin Cash, is for them to continue to trade sideways, and it's going to be that 460 area, maybe back down to that 420 area. So now we're going to look at Ripple. So Ripple is down 0.27%. Last trade was at 20 cents, and Ripple is truly being a laggard in the market. It is not moving at all. It has just been stagnated over the last week, and the market is still hovering around that support area of 20 cents. So the market gave us that stockpile that came in, but the market necessarily did not move lower. It kind of just traded sideways from the open and close. So that analysis for Ripple to continue to trade sideways is still intact. That is going to be our analysis. It's for them to continue to trade sideways to higher. In that first area, we're still looking for 21 cents. And if the market really comes alive and the buyers step in, then 22 would be the next area that we're eyeing for Ripple. So it's just one of those moves, those situations to where you have to be patient in the market, or trying to find, or you might have to try to find other opportunities to where the market will move a lot quicker. But Ripple is not giving us that at the moment. So now let's check out Litecoin. So Litecoin is down 0.73%. Last trade was at $56.19. So we got a precursors of weakness bar for Litecoin. The market came up to the high that occurred on the 24th of October. We was aiming for 60. Not that bad. It came to $58.97. So pretty close. But the market still closed lower than it closed from yesterday. We would expect to have the market close higher today. So that tells us at least that Litecoin will be trading sideways on tomorrow. So expect that sideways action to include coming back all the way up to $58 and also possibly coming down to the low of 54. So that is our analysis for Litecoin on tomorrow. Now the market really is giving us weakness, then expect it to come back down to 52 because the spread is a lot smaller than what it was yesterday, but the volume is the same. So it tells us that the market was trying to get hit with sellers, and if they're still in the market, then it will move a lot lower. So now let's go to Dash. So Dash is up 0.91%. Last trade was at $285.46. So the volume is extremely light compared to what it was over the last 3 trading days. So the market just pretty much traded sideways. So our analysis for Dash also still stands the same for them to trade sideways. We're looking for 280 for them to come and touch, and then a high maybe up to 295 in the beginning. But if the market is still extremely strong, they expect it to hit 300. But our first area for Dash to come and touch is 295. So that's what we're looking for. So now let's go to Neo. So Neo is up 3.14%. Last trade was at $28.79. So Neo gave us our analysis was correct. The market did close higher and moved higher. We were looking for $30, but it went to $29.57. So we're just off a couple of cents. No big deal, right? But the market still has given us stockpile on today's bar. The volume is increasing as Neo is going high, which is a pretty good sign. But we have to acknowledge the stockpile that is here on today's bar. So it's possible that they come lower to $28 or even $27 on tomorrow's trading. But if the buyers are still there, expect them to at least come up there and try $30 again. And if we get a push to go up bar, then it could come to the highs that occurred on the 10th or the 11th of October. So we're looking for them to trade in between $27 all the way back up to 31 as a slight possibility, but definitely up to 30. So now let's check out Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic is down 0.33%. Last trade was at $10.80. So the stockpile that came in on yesterday's bar wasn't necessarily all that strong. The sellers necessarily did not step in on today, but we still did not get the bar to close higher. The volume is real light. So obviously, or it's either two ways. They're not interested in higher prices, or the sellers are not in the market. So either way, the market will move. And for that fact, we will have to acknowledge that and give you a spread between $10 as the low and then $11.50 again as the high for Ethereum Classic. Now we could break this down to a smaller time frame real quick. We'll look at the 6 hours and see what we get. So looking at the 6 hour chart for Ethereum Classic, you guys can see how stockpile is coming in on these 6 hour bars, right? But the market is not necessarily moving lower. As a matter of fact, it is maintaining the price at 1080. So it could be a possibility that Ethereum Classic will be moving higher, because obviously the market participants are here buying Ethereum Classic to the point to where they're not allowing it to fall. Okay, but if it does fall, then it can definitely come back to $10.60. So that's a possibility. Just keep your eyes out on that. But given the 6 hour chart, it looks like Ethereum Classic is going to try to make higher highs. So if it does that, expect that we're looking for $11.50 like we said. If not, we're expecting to at least come down at $10.60 or $10.50. So now let's go ahead and look at the last one. So the last one is Monero, down 0.64%. Last trade was at $88.66. So the daily price chart also just like Litecoin, is giving us a precursor of weakness to where the market shot up, but it closed lower from off the highs of the bar. So it tells us that the sellers was in the market trying to suppress the prices for Monero. So we're expecting them to continue to trade sideways, and that would be between $92 and $84. So one of the things I want to let you guys know before I go is that these cryptocurrencies are trading in a range. They're not giving us a major precursors of strength or precursors of weakness to let us know that the market is going to be trading out of this particular trading range. So that is the momentum of the cryptocurrency market right now. Now Bitcoin is, on the other hand, is still giving us the momentum of breaking to higher highs. So that tells us the difference between these cryptocurrencies and altcoins. Altcoins are trading in the range. Bitcoin is not. It is in a uptrend. And once these things change, believe us, we'll be the first ones to tell you guys that the market has changed its tone, and then you guys can adjust your trades or your strategies accordingly. Now, we're not necessarily saying that you can't use indicators on your charts. By all means, we're not knocking indicators one bit. But what we do need you guys to understand is that you need to understand this language on top of you incorporating your own particular indicators in the chart, because once you get the knowledge and understanding of the mind of the markets, you also become better in tune with these indicators that so many other people use. So that's all I got for today. Guys, stay profitable. Appreciate the new subscribers. If you guys still don't understand some of the terminology that I use here on a regular basis, go out and check out our video called Just Some of the Basics, and it gives you the definitions and the meanings of the words that I say on a daily basis. So that's all we got for today. You guys stay profitable, and I'll talk to you guys later.